Hey everybody, Zach McCripe for 101sports.com. If you have no idea who I am, it's okay. This ugly face doesn't get on a camera or in front of a camera or whatever the case may be very much. That's okay. But anyway, I do Zach and the Coach. I'm one of the co-hosts for that. The dumber of the two, and the co-host for that show from 9 to 11 Central Time on 101 ESPN here in St. Louis. And welcome to my humble abode here. It's time for a little good, bad, and ugly. It's what I do on Sundays, and it's Sundays for Monday, that is. And we'll start off with the good. Plenty of bad to talk about, but let's start off with the good. Let's go in the order that God made for the good, the bad, and the ugly. For the good, let's start off with Adam Wainwright again. My goodness, I will fully admit I'm not going to be a phony. After seeing his first 2 or 3 starts and hearing everybody say, this guy's just not ready yet. He's just not ready. Well, then what are we doing pitching him? I mean, if other players aren't ready, we don't play them here, do we? We either put them on the DL or we send them down. Not to say that Wainwright's the kind of guy you send down, but if he's not completely ready and he doesn't have all of the oomph on his fastball or all of the movement on his breaking pitches, why are we having him here? Why is he pitching every 5th day? He has proved me wrong, and I am not ashamed to admit it. Another great outing, 7 innings pitched against the Astros on Sunday, 1 earned run, struck out 7, only walked 1. It looks like he's wearing back to form, the kind of form he was at just a couple of years ago. Fantastic. Another good, Tyler Green. Look, I've been on his case, man, and I'm sure a lot of Cardinals fans have been. Where's this guy been? Is this guy on scholarship for the St. Louis Cardinals? Well, he's definitely got back into form on Sunday with the 2-homer day, and still fighting for a spot. I don't think it's set in stone that he's the starting second baseman. I mean, I think that goes without saying. When you have 3 different players start at second base during a 3-game series in Houston, that goes without saying for sure. But Tyler Green definitely putting up a fight. I thought Mike Matheny did a good job of putting all 3 of them, giving all 3 of the second basemen, Tyler Green, Daniel Descalso, and Skip Schumacher, a start. Let him fight for the job. I'm glad he's got Skip in there, though. No screwing around with him. If he deserves a second base job, let him fight for it too. So there's another good thing. Along with the good, I do want to say, look, I'm going to talk a lot about the Blues here, but good season for the Blues. I think if you look back on it, you were talking about a possible President's Cup with just a week left in the season. On top of that, I think anybody would have told you at the beginning of the year that if they got to the second round of the playoffs this year, you'd take it. And that's what they did this year. So good season for them. We'll get back to them in a second. My final good today, Churchill Downs. I went there for this weekend for the Kentucky Oaks, the Kentucky Derby. Wow, that place just stuns me every single time. First off, it's just a mammoth place. A lot of history there, a lot of tradition there, a lot of goosebump moments that occur there every Derby weekend. Just a really cool place, and I'm glad I went and took the time out of the weekend and took a trip down to Louisville, Kentucky. Now for the bad. Let's stay at Churchill. $11 for what they call an Oaks Lily, which is basically an alcoholic drink. Well, not basic. It is an alcoholic drink, or a mint julep. The historic, the traditional mint julep. Either one of those, $11. Seriously? Moving on. The Blues in this series against the Kings. Look, it was bad from start to finish against the Kings. But I always look at it this way. Would you rather lose 4-3 in a series that you should have won? In a best-of-7 series you should have won, you thought you were the better team? Or would you rather just get whipped around by a team that was just playing better than you? I don't know if there's a right answer to that or not, but certainly one of those happened, and that was there was just a team that was better. I think at least, if nothing else, we can all go to sleep knowing that at least the Blues didn't get beat by somebody that wasn't as good as them. The Kings are phenomenal, and I would defy anybody to not make them the favorite going into the conference finals in either conference to win the Stanley Cup. That's how good they were, and they certainly showed their prowess against the St. Louis Blues. In terms of the ugly, I'm gonna go with the fans and the media that do this one thing, and that is blame the Blues' loss in the series against the Kings on something. And I've railed on this on air, so if you guys listen every day, I'm sorry if you're hearing this, if this is a repeat to you, but I'm going to throw a stat at you that's hopefully new and fresh, and you guys will appreciate this. But if I have to hear it again from any other fan or any other media member on the radio or in print or otherwise say, oh, playoff experience or lack thereof was an issue for the Blues against the Kings. Enough. That's wrong. It's a myth. It's an absolute myth. What do people not understand about playoff? First off, playoff experience. Let me tell you something. I'll take the least experienced team of the two if they're just more talented. I'll take talent. You can have I tell you what, me versus you take the experience, I'll take the talent, I bet you I win. That always upsets me. But and by the way, I'm not saying experience doesn't count. It just doesn't count as much as other people will make it out to be. Experience counts a little bit. I will not argue that, but I'll move on. I'll just give you this one stat to leave you with here. I went through on last Thursday morning, as the Blues were down 2-0 against the Kings in the series, and eventually got swept, obviously. But on Thursday morning, I went back and went, you know what? I'm tired of hearing this playoff experience bull bleep. Let's take a look for ourselves. Well, you know what? Number of players with previous playoff experience on each team's roster before 2012. Kings, 18 players by my unofficial count. The Blues, 20 players. 20 players. 2 more players than the Kings, unofficially, by my count, with playoff experience before this year. So I don't want to hear it. That's not a valid excuse. That's about it. I hate to be so mean. Not trying to be. But anyway, thanks for listening. This was a long video. If you made it to the end, holy bleep, you are a nice person. Really appreciate that. Catch me and the coach 9 to 11 on a show that was very, very uniquely named, Zach and the Coach. We'll see you.